Okay, so you've decided that you are moving to the greater Phoenix area and you're wondering, Chandler or Gilbert? What's the difference? Which one will be better for you? What are the pros and what are the cons? So stay tuned because I'm going to get to the nitty gritty super fast and give you everything you're looking for coming up right now. Hi, this is Sheryl Willis over at the Real Agent Now group right here in the Phoenix area. And if you are new to this channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, drinking in the greater Phoenix area, then you're going to want to make sure you hit that subscribe button, click that little bell so that you are notified each and every time we release a new video. We are getting dozens of calls, emails, text messages every single day, and we love it. If you're even thinking about moving to the greater Phoenix area, pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot us a text message, email, days, nights, weekends. We got your back when moving to the greater Phoenix area. Okay, so you've decided to move to the greater Phoenix area and you've decided on the Southeast Valley. Will it be Chandler or will it be Gilbert? Well, let me give you the nitty gritty pros and cons about each area and why they're so similar and why they're so different. All right, let's start with just a real quick history lesson. So both cities were incorporated in the early 1900s and both of them were predominantly farming communities. Gilbert really stayed in that whole farming, ranching, actually all the way through the end of the 20th century. Yeah, believe it or not. I remember when I first moved here in the 90s, which I chose Chandler, and I'll tell you why in a moment. And he had some friends that he played ball with, and I had to go all the way to Gilbert, and there was no bus system, and it seemed like it was forever away. Now it's just a hop and a skip. So anyways, again, so in the 90s, actually it was the 80s, Intel came to Chandler, and it changed Chandler forever. So Intel is a true believer of local living, local community, and local businesses. So if you wanted to do business with the world's largest manufacturing company for the microchip, semiconductor, let's just say. So if you wanted to be a supplier for Intel, which was the largest manufacturing facility in the world right here in Chandler, then you as a business moved out here. So next thing you know, the 90s are flourishing with companies. And that's when I came out here, actually part of technology, more in the defense industry. But again, everybody wanted to be around Intel. Intel is singularly responsible for bringing over $8 billion worth of revenue here to the Chandler area. So anyways, Chandler became quite the technology hub and it continues. That has also expanded into the financial, insurance, aerospace. I can go on and on. So the city of Chandler has a very, very large employment pool. So most of the people that were first moving here to the greater Phoenix area and in the Southeast Valley, they were going to Chandler. So most of the homes we saw built in the 80s and the 90s in the city of Chandler. Well, by the early 2000s, and as we approached even just 10 years ago, 2010, all of a sudden, Chandler was getting full. And so people started going out just a little further and a little further and a little further, right? Urban sprawl. And that's when Gilbert really stepped up to play and became the #1 most prosperous city in America. Now, here's another little twist. Gilbert's not a city, it's actually a town. So here's what the difference is. Super easy. Chandler is super technology, business, forward-thinking, innovative community. With that, you are going to get amazing education, technical schools. There's a lot of VCs that have moved out here. Those are venture capitalists that make investments in technology. We also have a lot of the executives that came with these companies that bought and built homes in the Ocotillo area, which is considered a very prestigious area and has some very high level price points, even as high as $10 million, which is rather unique for the Chandler area and something you normally see in Scottsdale. So anyways, so Chandler, you're going to see an older part of town, again, that started in the 80s, 90s, a lot of these people also were from field workers. And so some of those older homes, and it has a lower income part of Chandler, if you would. And so that's why, honestly, in my opinion, you have massive diversity in the city of Chandler. You have all different income levels. You have all different home values. You also have different and all different wonderful different types of cultural events. We also have the Chandler Symphony. We have the Center for Performing Arts. All this is in the city of Chandler. There's also Chandler 3 different freeways that are surrounding it. So again, if you are in the business industry of any sort, if you are in technology, you're flying out of town, or you need to go across town, you have the 101, the 202, and the Interstate 10 all right there in your backyard, practically. And so Chandler really, really does have it all, especially too for education. I have to tell you, some of the most amazing top level schools, the basis schools, are world renowned. We actually have several of them located here in the greater Phoenix area. And of course, wouldn't you guess, one in the Chandler area. So that's really what you get in Chandler. But now let's talk about the housing in the Gilbert area. Okay, so like I said, as families started to grow or people were drawn to the Southeast Valley, they kind of started going where it was a little bit less expensive and a whole lot newer, and that would be the town of Gilbert. Now, today, town of Gilbert and the city of Chandler have the same amount of residents, right at about 250,000, but Gilbert is going to be tucked a little bit more east, southeast-ish. And so if you are someone that frequently travels and needs to get across town, you're going to find it a little bit more difficult coming from the Gilbert area. And it goes out pretty far. But I have to tell you, I adore Gilbert. As for a family, oh my God, this town is so family first, family culture, everywhere you look, from events, community events, farmers markets. The parks are insane. They have water communities. Well, both cities have water communities, but Gilbert has the upcoming Gilbert Regional Park that is insanely ginormous. It's going to be the largest park in all of Arizona. So from a family perspective, I really like the Gilbert area. They have phenomenal schools. They have a ton of charter schools and private schools in every direction. They have farms. They have food to table. They have, oh my gosh, the neat thing about Gilbert, being that it's newer, you're going to be paying about the same cost, but Gilbert homes are newer and Gilbert homes are larger, again, kind of for more of that family style environment. But what I love is each community is like a city. No, let's call it a village of its own. And so you have Agritopia, and you have Morrison Park, or you have Power Ranch, or I'm telling you, there is so many amazing communities in the town of Gilbert. And so I think for a family, I would highly recommend Gilbert. Now, if you are young millennials and you're coming out here for a tech job and you haven't started your family yet, or maybe you just have maybe one child, Chandler's going to be an amazing community for you. There are amenities everywhere you look. There's shopping mall, there's freeway access, there's entertainment, there's restaurants. It never ends in the city of Chandler. Now, let's really quickly go over what the downtowns have to offer. So different, but kind of same. So again, the city of Chandler, both downtowns were founded right around the same time in the early 1900s. Well, Chandler was on the cutting edge with having the first high-end fancy resort, which is still there. It's called the San Marcos Crown Plaza Golf Course. San Marcos Crown Plaza is also home to the very first grass golf course in Arizona. So kind of a little treat for you there. But the downtown was also home to the first movie theater that showed color film. So they were always on that cutting edge of technology, and they still are today. Downtown Chandler, the historic part, is a park. It's called Dr. A.J. Chandler Park, and you will find a ton of community events here. You're going to find festivals, live music. You're going to have yoga in the park. They have, at the holidays, they have all these different pop-ups where you can take pictures. They have art constellations everywhere. And they also have a farmer's market. Now, what downtown Chandler is mostly known for, they are all independent owned businesses. These are all mom and pop shops that are run by the owners, which is kind of cool. And in the historic district, those are the original buildings that were really built in 1919, 1929, 1935. So because these footprints were rather small, there are no corporate restaurants and bars in downtown Chandler. And there are over 40 bars and restaurants, and it is named an entertainment district. And so you are going to find live music at over half of those. Oh my gosh, there's 5 different breweries in downtown Chandler. So if you're looking for nightlife, if you're in your younger 20s, later 20s, 30s, even 40s and 50s, you're gonna love the nightlife that downtown Chandler has to offer. Now, I have to say, from aesthetics, downtown Gilbert, which they call the Heritage District, is unbelievable, especially at night when all the lights come on. They have these ginormous corporate restaurants that have gone in and completely transformed the district. It kind of looks like it has still some of that original feel. There are a few buildings left, but you're going to find a lot of corporate money. So you're going to see some of that, the fancier type of restaurants. But I am telling you, you can pick any day of the week. There is always a line to get into those lunches and those dinners. Now, Gilbert, though, right at around 10:30, 11 p.m., it's quiet. People go to sleep. But there are other parts of Gilbert that have equally as much fun as far as restaurants. There is also a Top Golf, and there are other places, again, scattered throughout Gilbert that are a lot of fun in the PM. So depending on what you're looking for, both Chandler and Gilbert, they also work very close together. The mayors are in constant meetings, and their planning department work very closely together too. So again, if you're looking for something close to employment, you're going to be looking in Chandler. If you're looking for something that's more family focused, you're going to be looking in Gilbert. Almost forgot that, right? All right, guys. So the only way we can help you find the right home for your future and your needs and wants is pick up that phone. Give us a call. Send us a text message. Shoot me an email. Days, nights, weekends. We got your back when moving to the greater Phoenix area. Until then, until we talk to you, until we see you again. Catch you later. Bye.